Okay, so we're live and it's exactly 9 o'clock. So hopefully we're gonna have some people hop on. If you're watching the replay, my name is Heather Boyd Wire, and every week I do a live stream on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time to troubleshoot designs for wire art and jewelry projects. And I'm located in Montreal. If you're hopping on the live stream, please let me know where you're watching from and hope to see some familiar faces on the live stream tonight. We usually have some regulars that hop on. Oh, we've got one person on, so I'm going to just go over to my. Hey, Tabitha, how are you? You're the first one on, right on. I'm just going to go over to my computer and just see if the live stream is showing there. We're going to wait for a few people to hop on, and then I'm going to explain what we're going to be doing today. So I'll just get this one up so I can see your comments. And there we go. I think we're good. And there's always a little bit of a delay on the computer. Hey, Laura, how are you? Marysville, Ohio, right on. That's awesome. And Elena's here. Hey, how you doing? Right on. I'm glad everybody's hopping on. And yeah, so I'm going to, every week I try to troubleshoot designs for a new project. This week I'm going in a little bit blindly because Sharon, a regular on the live stream and also a member of the Wire Art and Jewelry Makers Club on Facebook, she sent me some picture, or it was one picture of a rhinestone ring. And I thought it was so cute. There's Clarice. How are you? Awesome. You're one of the first ones on. We've got 10 people on already. That's amazing. And Andrea's here, right on. This is Kat. Oh, hi, this is Kat. And the name says Andrea, so that's confusing. That's all good. And hello from Austria. Oh, that's amazing. I went to Austria many, many years ago. Oh, probably 25 years ago now. It was a long time ago. So yeah, so today, guys, we are making rhinestone rings, and sometimes I don't even know what project we're going to do this week. And Sharon had suggested we do rhinestone rings, and I'll show you a little picture. I'm just going to pull up a picture of what she sent me. So how am I going to do this? Let me flip the screen just for a second. Okay, I'm going to flip the screen just for a second. So Sharon sent me this picture of a rhinestone ring. And I was pretty sure it's not really something I can do just because it's cast. This is cast in metal. So it's not something that I would be able to do with what I have. But what I did was I actually went to a bead store today and I got a few little rhinestone things. So here I'm going to show you. Actually, I'm going to put this right up top so we can get it set up right away. Just let me get this set up. You guys always bear with me when I just set up my there we go. So there we go. From Prague in the Czech Republic. Awesome. Hey Josh, how are you? What time is it over there? And Claudia! Hey Claudia from Montreal. Yoo-hoo! That's awesome. Thanks for hopping on. So yeah, I'm troubleshooting designs for rhinestone rings. So what I did was I went to my bead store today, and there's a couple of great bead stores. If anyone here is from Montreal, like Claudia, there's some great bead stores on Saint Hubert Street near Jean Talon. And so I go there sometimes with my friend. And today I went, and because Sharon had asked for these rhinestone rings, I decided to pick up some rhinestones. So let me see if we can see them very well. So here's one. And basically what it is, I don't even know what this is used for. I think it's used for sewing projects because I bought them in an area that they call it sort of, it's not the garment district, but that's where they sell all the fabrics and stuff in Montreal on Saint Hubert and all the prom dresses. So this time of year it's pretty busy. So these are like little kind of metal pieces with holes in them that have rhinestones in them. So I thought that would be cool to do something with that. And then the other thing they had, and what I'll do is maybe I'll for the people watching the replay too, I'll put links in the description. I'll try to find out where you could buy these online, and I'll put links in the description. So this is actually, it's so small, it's hard to see, but it's a little rhinestone. Bring some rings tomorrow night. Oh, I could do that. Hey, Heather, I just saw your video on how to make pins with a machine. Oh, yeah, that one's awesome. Yeah, the pins. They looks like a spacer. Yeah, they do look like spacers. So I wonder if there's some kind of spacer bead or something. And because I know, like I said, it's in sort of like this area where they sell fabric. So I think people also buy these to sew onto dresses and things. So what I thought I would do is play around with those. And then the other thing is, who was it now? Oh, I have a mind blank. But somebody asked me to do button rings as well. I'm gonna have to look up who that was. Kids Filmy's here too. Cool. Yeah. So here I have some buttons too. So I thought with the rhinestones and the buttons, we'll make a few rings. So I'll try to keep them relatively simple. I thought I'd start with this one. Just subscribe. Yay! That's awesome. Thank you so much for subscribing. I love it. And if you click the little notification bell, then you get notified when I go live and post new videos, which is awesome. So this is really cute. If you're wondering what this is actually probably something you could find on antique jewelry, you know, in the like the really old-fashioned necklaces that have this is actually a clasp. And I didn't try to open it yet, but look at that. It just comes out like that. It's like a little clasp. But if you stick this in, and if you're worried about it coming out, I guess you could put a little dab of glue. But I thought it would be really cute just to take this and make a simple ring. So why don't we start with that one? And so what I have here is this is actually 18 gauge artistic wire, and it's a copper wire, but it's copper coated with a non-tarnished silver. So it's a really good to use for jewelry. When I started making jewelry 30 years ago, it was really hard to get decent wire. Like, I remember having such trouble, and of course, you couldn't buy things online. So I remember getting wire at the hardware store. My husband used to import it from Mexico. They had something called alpaca gold, which was nice enough, but it tarnished really badly. So now you can get all kinds of amazing types of wire, and I love this artistic copper wire. So here's just a little piece. You don't need it very big. And so what you would do is get your ring form. This is just like a little cone. You can actually buy these wooden cones. I can put a link afterwards in the description as well of where to buy one. And or if in a pinch, you can just use a marker and wrap the wire around the marker. So you would just wind it around like that and just see, you know, about what size you want it. And then you could just clip it a little bit here. I did make button rings, earrings, and a brooch. Whoa, how cool. So if you guys make some cool stuff, I would love to see it. You could post it in the Facebook group, the Wire Art and Jewelry Makers Club. I would love that because people are sharing all kinds of really cool things, like pictures of their work, and it's really inspiring. So all I'm going to do for this ring, I'm going to keep it super simple. So we just learn how do you stop the silver finish from wearing off? Well, this wire is actually treated so it's not supposed to rub off. It's supposed to stay on. Like I've never had a problem with it actually. And if you wanted something more high end, you can actually get something called argentium silver, I think it is. And it's exactly like sterling silver, but it is low tarnish. So you still have to clean it, but not as much. And it's like the pure metal type of thing. So all that I've done is I've done like a little curve there. I have my little clasp, and all we're going to do is just hook that into there. Oh, phew, it fits. I've started to think, oh no, maybe my wire's too thick. And then we'll just press that down like that. Okay, so that's one, and love the way you are so descriptive. Oh, that's great, Claudia. I wish I could be even more descriptive. Now, if those of you who are watching alongside, Claudia is a dear friend of mine, and she is visually impaired. So, unfortunately, Claudia cannot see this video, but you apparently listen to my videos all the time, which I'm very happy for, Claudia, and I'm just thrilled that you could get some value out of it as well. And you know what? I had so much fun when, because I write these comics too, and I actually did sort of a descriptive comic for you as well, Claudia. And I love that. I definitely want to do more of those comics for visually impaired people. I love that idea. So now what we're going to do is we've attached the clasp on one side, and now we have to attach it on the other side. And this would be a very similar technique to making rings out of buttons because the buttons already have holes. And so it would be the same idea. Like this already has two holes on either end. So now I've just bent the wire up like that. I'm going to trim it a little bit so it's easier to work with. And then now what we want to do is flip this little clasp around, and you might have to manipulate this a little bit. And we're going to put that, I'm going to have to bend it a little bit more so it can actually go through that hole. And so we're going to stick this other end in through the other hole there. And we'll just cross our fingers it doesn't snap the clasp because it could be a little bit delicate. So we're just going to bend it down there. So now thank you for the shout out. Yeah, yeah, you guys have to definitely check out Claudia's channel, and I will link it up below after Claudia. I'll put a link to your channel as well because you're doing so many interesting things about your motivational speaking and your tips and tricks and all that sort of things. So that's awesome. So here we have the ring. See how simple that was? I just attached the wire on either side of the clasp. I would have never thought of doing this, making a ring out of a clasp, but it just happened to be something that I saw at my bead store, and I thought, well, this is cool. So this is in honor of Sharon because Sharon requested rings with rhinestones. So here's a cute, eh, Laura? Yeah. And so there you go, simple, super simple ring. So what you could do is if you don't have access to a store that sells these kind of findings, either you can order online or you could actually go to garage sales or vintage sales and pick up like old pieces of jewelry and cut them up and make your own stuff out of it. So that's kind of cool. And so next what I thought I'd do is I'll try to do this little, what looks like a little spacer bar. And this is a darker metal. I wanted to get a silver colored one, but unfortunately they didn't have one. So I have love it. Yeah, nice. I have this little silver one as well. And this one, the bigger size has 3 holes, and the little size has 2 holes. So I probably should have planned this a little better. I didn't even think about how I'm going to do this, but this is why I do these live streams, to just kind of work out ideas and for things like this. And I'm just very grateful that you guys are very patient with me for that. So what I think I might try to do is let's just go for it and stick it through one of these holes like this and see what's going to happen. So if we stick it through here, and then what if we stick it through the other side? Okay, let's just stick it through the next one. Okay, let's just try this. I have a few, so if it doesn't work out, I could try something else. And if you guys have any other ideas too, I could definitely use your feedback for other ideas. We're going to go like this. So we're just kind of weaving it through a little bit just to get it to stay in place. And let's put it through the third hole and see how that's going to work. So these little spacers actually have rhinestones on one side and the other side is sort of plain. So we want to set it up so that the rhinestones are going to be showing. So now, like, this is super solid. I've kind of twisted the wire right through it, but now the question is, what in the world do we do with the ends? So that's the trick. So I think there's a couple of options. One thing that you could do is simply bend this to either side. I'm going to try this 2 different ways, and we're going to just see what works best. So if we bend that way and bend the other one the other way, away from the spacer, and then we're going to get our ring form again, because you always need that, and we're going to twist one around one side and one around the other side. It's kind of looking cool like that. So if we do it like that, and the idea is we might want to try to make it a little bit symmetrical. So far, this is actually working not too bad. So let's just put this one through here, okay? And then twist this one and stick this one underneath. And then what I'll do is I will actually put the ring form back and then pull it to the size that we want. We'll just pull it to the size we want, and then pull this wire back to secure it in place, and then this one here to secure it. And to keep it like clean and simple, I think what I'll do is just clip the end hopefully you guys can see okay with the light. So last week I did the live stream at my parents' house and the lighting was really terrible. But it was fun because at the end of the live stream, I ended up giving people a little tour of my parents' condo and showed them some of my old artworks from and photos from years ago. So that was really fun. These things are always really improvised. So there we go. So I just clipped the ends like that. And now I'm going to just pinch, because you always want to pinch in the little pokey ends. You don't want the little pokey ends sticking out. So you just pinch them in to keep them, to make them more discreet. And then always when you're making rings, they get a little bit deformed. So you just go ahead and put your wire, the ring back on the cone. So we're going to go like that. And looks a little strange. It's kind of funky. So, and then we can just put it on the finger like that. It's kind of interesting. Not too bad, you know. So, but the thing with these designs is it's in doing them that you develop designs. So that's sort of an idea for that one. And then this one here, the little one, it actually only has 2 holes. So let's see what we could do with that one. I'm going to get a different wire for that one. I'll get a 20 gauge wire here. And then what I'm thinking to do with this one is to keep it super simple. So if we just bend this, you want to make sort of like a little U shape because there's 2 holes in the spacer and you want the wires to go through the 2 holes. So we're just going to do a little U and then we'll just put those through the holes. See if it's going to fit because these holes might be too small. Yeah, see, I'm going to run into some problem because the holes are actually too small. So let's go down to our next size, smaller, which is 22 gauge wire because the 20 gauge wire was too thick. So let's take the 22 gauge wire and we're just going to stick one through one hole like that. Okay. This actually might work better with the 3-holed one, but we'll just try it with the 2-holed ones to see. So if we go in through, let's make sure it's going to actually fit in that one too. You could probably, because the metal is actually not that thick, you could probably even make the holes a little bit bigger if you kind of like poked a pin through or something. I bet you could enlarge those holes if you needed to. So if we just put the wire through there, and we want to push it in a little bit. Okay, so there we go. We have like that. And then we have it this way. So this is the sort of the start to the ring because you really want to make it solid. I mean, in theory, you could glue some of these things in, but I always try to make things solid just by twisting them with the wire. So that's sort of the challenge, right? So let's bring this one around here. And we'll bring this one around here. Okay, and I think what I'm going to do for this, let's see if this is going to work. So if we bring one over on either side, okay, and we really need this one to be perpendicular, so it's going to hold into place. And then if we just twist the wire around, it might work. So we could twist the wire around like that. Okay, and we just push it in place. And then let's just twist this wire around the other way. Okay, we'll just twist it around. I wasn't really sure about this piece. I wasn't really sure what it was going to do, but I thought it was interesting just to try it like that. So I've just kind of twisted it around. And I'm still not 100% sure because I don't know if this is going to hold in place. So let's back it up a little bit because it looks like it might not hold in place. So I'm going to take this end. And what I'm actually going to do with that end is actually wind it around the ring form because otherwise it's going to come loose. So if we wind that around the ring form there and then let's put the ring form back again to make it perpendicular. And I think so far my favorite ring is the first one. These ones, like I said, I'm really troubleshooting with these. And so what I'll do too is even after the live stream is I'll keep working on these designs. And if I come up with a better way to make them, I will definitely share them in the Facebook group. So, but for now, let's just see what we can do with these and make them as solid as possible, because especially for rings, you definitely want them to be super solid. So let's bring this around here. Okay. And then once that's done, we could just twist the extra wire bit around once on there. Okay. Sometimes things look like a hot mess, but the more you work on them, the more you can tighten them up and make them actually look a lot better. And so far, the most popular ring tutorial that I have on my channel is the one about how to make rings to sell. And actually, that ring is like the easiest design that I have. It's so simple. And there's a funny story actually behind that ring, because that ring used to be a design that my friend Minet, she used to be a street vendor in Montreal at the same time that I was selling jewelry on the street. So this would have been in 1989, 1990. And she made a design. Well, she claimed to have made up the design for the ring, but actually all the street vendors were making the same design. And she was quite protective about it, but it was kind of funny. And anyways, so 30 years later, I actually made a tutorial on how to make that ring. So that one you could find on my channel as well. So here's this one, and it's okay. It's not, I don't love it because at the side you'll see there's a little bit of strange stuff going on, but I think I like the way it sits better when it has a 3-hold one. So that's kind of good to know. Like this one to me is a little small. This one seems a little bit better. So those are those ones. And now let's go see what we could do with a button. So we have a little very easy button here, and this is the kind of button with a little loop on the end. So I think we could do something pretty easy with that. And I could even use brass wire. Maybe what I'll do is I'll take a different button that actually has a brass color in it, and I'll use the brass wire just so it matches up a little bit better. There we go. Oh, I'm just seeing comments now. I'm just seeing Sharon. You're hopping on now. Awesome. So Sharon, I'm doing that. You'll definitely be able to watch the live stream, but I did a couple of rhinestone ones. I'm just going to do one with a button now. I'm getting samples of individual ones with holes. I'll let you know. Okay, awesome. Yeah, when you receive your samples, just let me know and we'll definitely work out some designs. So now I'm going to do one with a button, and then I have a few more other rhinestones that I'm going to try as well, and we'll figure out what works the best. So let's just go around, like if I do one with the brass here, what I'm going to do is go around, wind it around the ring form twice, just like that. This is like a 20 gauge brass wire. Okay, so we just went around the wire around the ring form twice, and then we want to put the button through. So I think what I would want to do for that so it sits well is just bend this up at a bit of a right angle, just a little bit, and make sure it's nice and tight. So bend it up and then bend it across. I do this with some of my other ring designs too. It's just to give a little room for the bead or whatever you use. So then we'll bend that at sort of another little angle there. And then we can actually put the button on it. So again, this is the first time I'm doing this, so let's see if it actually works. So we just stuck the button right on there. And then what we want to do is bend this wire back down to attach it. And then we're going to wind this end around, like inside the ring, and do a complete turn around like that. And same on this side. So on the other side, we're going to make sure it's the size that we want. And then on this side too, we're going to bend this extra wire to the right or the left, whatever side of the bead or the button, like that. So you've kind of secured it in place on either side with the wire. You've twisted it around. And then now, so it won't flip-flop around like that, what we want to do is actually take these extra wires. I could have even cut them longer, but we're just going to wind them around a few times like that. So we'll just wind it around a few times like that, and then clip the end, clip it nice and tight. and it's still a little wobbly. So what we can do now, I have to go. Awesome, Claudia. Well, thanks so much for hanging out on the live stream, Claudia, and we'll definitely see you tomorrow. So Claudia and I tomorrow are going to a YouTube Montreal event. So we meet up with all kinds of other people in Montreal doing YouTube videos, and it's an event called Tips and Pitch and Tips, I think it is. So we're going to share ideas for how to grow our YouTube channels and stuff. So that'll be really fun. So yeah, so I just wound the other end around, and then you could clip this end, and you can push it in with your pliers too if you like. And then what I'm going to do now is just the finishing touch is always to put it back on the ring form and twist it around. And I really like this one. It's super simple, but it's really, really pretty. So look at that. So I think it's a little, it's sort of in my fingers are in between size, but that is gorgeous. I love that. So that's just with a nice little antique looking button. And then the other thing I was thinking was, wouldn't it be fun to do something with a button and a bead? I'm going on a tangent here. I'm supposed to be doing rhinestones, but I saw these and I thought this would be super cute to do. So like you could do a bead inside a button type of thing. I think maybe a nicer color would be nice, like something like that. Or I'll get another one. That's beautiful. It doesn't look like a button. I know it doesn't look like a button, eh? It's amazing. I think I got it in sort of a mixed package one time. Yeah, it's really cool. So what do you guys think help me out here to choose what beads I'm going to use? So I have a red button. We either have the red button or the pink button. And, oh, I don't like that one. So, and I have I could put white inside the pink one. So if I don't hear otherwise, I'm just going to dive in and choose one. So unless you guys have a preference for which one you want me to do, I'm just going to choose one of these buttons. Pink? Okay, yes, we have a decisive person. Whoops, I just hit my camera. I got too excited. So let's do the pink one. So let's see what we can do with this. And you want to probably use a wire that's pretty flexible. I don't happen to have any 20 gauge of the copper wire, so I'm going to try the 22, and hopefully it's going to work out okay. So let's try this way. So let's work backwards. Two bottoms, small and big. Oh, two buttons, small and big. We could do that too. We definitely could try that too. Yeah. So let's start with the we're going to put a pearl or any bead. This is actually a 6mm bead. Okay, and so yeah, rather than starting with the ring, let's start with the button and the beads. So we're going to go like that, and then we're going to take the two ends and put them through the button like that. Okay, so there we have our little basic shape for the ring. And then what we're going to want to do is let's just try it this way. Let's just spread them out like that, okay? And then get our ring form, stick it on the ring form. And because this wire is a little thinner, I'm going to go around a couple of times, I think. So we're going to go around that one once. Okay, and then this one will go around the bottom. Actually, that should be good because we've got like three rounds. Very clever. Cool, eh, Sharon? Yeah, this is fun. I'm having so much fun. So there we go. And we're going to just take the ends, make sure the ends are long enough. And then you just twist them around, just like that. Okay, we're going to go like that. And then take that one off and cut it. Okay. Get that one in there. And then we're going to put it back on the ring form. Okay, and then take the other end and just twist it around a few times there. I'm surprised I've never made these button rings before. You know, I might have made some once in a kid's workshop, but they were probably just really loosely done. But I'm really liking the way this is working. So how cute is that? Super simple for a button ring. Ooh, I think Clarice is going to be making some of these. What do you think, Clarice? You're so good about making things after I show people on the tutorials. I think that's just awesome. So there we've got that one. It's cute, eh? Yeah, I just love it too. It's so awesome. So yeah, you could do I don't have a lot of buttons here, so I don't have many more to work with, but definitely, sky's the limit. So if you guys yeah, if you guys make some, please share pictures on the Facebook page. So the last thing I want to try are I bought these little rhinestones in the same store that I was at today, and they're actually just little individual rhinestones. So there's a little hole at the bottom, but really not a very large hole. So I'm thinking probably the only wire that's going to fit in there is the 22 gauge wire. So let's try that. So I'm going to cut a nice long piece so we have a lot to work with. And we're just going to cut that there. And the first thing I'm going to do is just to see if they actually fit on the wire, because I didn't even test that yet. I just bought them. I thought they were cute, and I thought, oh, well, we'll figure it out on the live stream because you guys are so patient. And lo and behold, it works. It goes. This is pretty cool. So it actually goes on here. And I don't have the bag, but they come in. Oh, no, I do have the bag. They come in different sizes, but I clipped off the label. I'll have to find out what size they are because they do come in different sizes. So what I was thinking to do is maybe I'm going to try a couple of different things. I'm going to slip it on and then I'm just trying to think if I should wind the wire around, or you know what I think I need to do? I think I need to do that's what you were picturing, eh? Something like this? Okay, so let's try this. And Sharon, I'll definitely write once I know the size, I'll write it. I got a medium size, like they had many, many different sizes. So I just got sort of a medium size. So let's put a few on here. And there seem to be 4 holes on each one. So what I'm going to do is just put them through one side. Let me just double check what I'm doing here so they match up. Okay, so ooh, they're finicky. They wiggle around, but I think they'll be fine. So let's just put maybe 4 on. I'm gonna see how much space they take up. If we put on 4 of these beads, well, I guess they're called rhinestones. It appears to be a type of thing that you would sew onto something because of the holes. So if we put those through there, so there's 4. Ooh, they're pretty. And then what I want to do is I'm just trying to think of the best way to do this. So here, I'm going to push it down a little more, and then bring them back around the other side. I just have to figure out the best way to make this ring to make it finish. But I think if I bring it, like twist this around and then feed it back through. Oh, wait. Oh, I was wondering if you could wrap a wire next to it to hold them next to each other. Yeah, that might be a better bet, Sharon. So let's try it. First, I'll try it this way, where I'm just going to kind of put the wire back through them. And then if that doesn't work, I'm going to wrap them individually because I think that might work better as well. So let's just put the wire back through them. It's kinda cool that there's 4 holes though. That's pretty convenient because makes them, like, more solid to go, but the only thing is the holes aren't super big, so I'm using a 22 gauge wire, and, like, the 20 gauge wire would not fit in there, which is too bad because the 20 gauge wire is my standard size wire that I use for most of my beading and rings and stuff like that. So let's just see what we could do here. Like if we just bring it down here, okay, like that, we just bring it down. So right away, because there's 2 wires through it, they're going to kind of hold into place. But I'm just wondering the best way to do this so it actually looks, the trouble is to get it so it actually looks symmetrical as well. Um, okay, I just had a thought. Okay, so let me just see how this would work. This actually might work. Okay, so that's the fun thing about troubleshooting these. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to just put 2 like this. I'm going to pull these ones back. I'm actually going to clip this wire. Okay, I'm going to just clip it there. Okay, And then I'm going to put these ones back and oops, they came out. So let me just, because I think I'm onto something. I'm just not like 100% sure. So bear with me. I'm going to try to do this, put this in here, and then bend this side around at the same length. Okay, if we bend it back around the same length. Now this might totally not be the right size, but what I like to do in this instance is this is all about figuring out the design. So if it works, then I can actually measure it, and then for the next one it would be perfect. Whoop. Hi, sorry I'm late. Oh, Rebecca, hey Rebecca, how are you? No problem. You can watch the replay. We're just working on ideas for rhinestone rings. So what I'm going to do now is just cut this. The tricky part when you're making rings and jewelry is to know where to finish the ends, because you can always have like little loose ends and sometimes you don't know what to do with them. So what I'm going to try to do is actually hide these ends inside. So what I'll do now is okay, I'm going to put these ones through this wire. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm just trying to put the wire back through these rhinestones, okay, just to get them in place. And then what we want to do is actually, I'll open that a bit and just push this wire back through these two. And right now it's being a little bit finicky, but it could work. I think it definitely could work. We just have to see how we're going to do it. But the trouble is getting it actually to stay in place. So if we push that one back through, we want it to go right in there like that. Okay, so it's kind of through there. Okay, let's get that one kind of through there. If we push that, okay. And yeah, so there's that extra end. I have to figure out what to do with that. Okay, so they're sort of in place like that. They seem to be through all the holes. So now what I would want to do is just like really bend that on an angle. And this one too, just bend it on an angle. I don't know if that's gonna hold in place, but we'll try it. Okay, like that. It's actually sort of looking like the picture that you sent, Sharon. And then we'll just put it on here. The proportions aren't great at all because, you know, this is the first design and these are kind of coming apart. So it kind of sort of worked, but not that much. So, but that's an idea. So it's not bad. It's just the trick would be to get these to hold in place. So let's try, Sharon, let's try the other idea of actually wrapping the rhinestones, because these seem to be wiggling around because the wire comes out. You would almost have to glue it or find a way to bend it, but this is a good first step. So I'll definitely pursue working on that one. So let's get some more wire. We'll get the 22 gauge wire again, and we'll just pull a nice long piece. And let's try it where we just wrap the rhinestones individually. So let's give that a try. And then what I'll probably end up doing is keep working on the designs, and then when I have something finalized, I'll do a nice finished video of how to make them. But for now, if you guys have any feedback, definitely let me know what you think, and we'll see what we could do. So if I put that one in here, okay, and can you twist the sides before having it come? Twist the sides. That might work too. Yeah, that's a good idea to try it that way. So I'm just going to see what we could do here. If I go through here, in and back, let's see if that's going to work. The trouble is the holes are really tiny, so it's very hard to get it to do much in there. So let's just see. Yeah, this might not work either because it's really hard to twist it around, although that kind of looks interesting, but not exactly what we had in mind. So let's go for interesting instead of instead of tight and professional. So let's see what we could do here to make it like kind of artsy and interesting, because these things are really cool. I like them a lot. So let's just do a few of these. I'm going to put this one in here. Okay. And maybe we'll do one a different direction, and we're going to put it through this side. If we put it through both holes there. Okay. And just we have to find the other hole. There we go. Put it in there. Yeah, so what is everybody up to? We're having a beautiful, beautiful weather. Spring is finally here in Montreal. We've had a really cold spring, so everybody's very, very happy that the weather is nice and we can sit on the terrace, and it's just a relief. So here we go. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to put another one on there. Where did I get these from? So Sharon, I got these from downtown in Montreal. There's a kind of I wouldn't say it's a wholesaler, but it's a place where you can go to buy all kinds of beads, and a lot of dressmakers go there to find little accessories and findings to go on like wedding dresses and stuff. It's actually the sort of the district where people buy prom dresses and wedding dresses and stuff. It's on Saint Hubert Street in Montreal. But it was really good to go because I got an idea of what's available, because sometimes online you can't really tell what things are, like size or shape or anything. Like it's kind of a troubleshoot. But at least at this place, I got a little bit of idea. You might be able to find some things like this in a fabric store. I'm thinking that might be an option if you don't have sort of this type of area in the city that you live. So I don't know what they have in the States, but in Canada we have Fabric Land, which is a big one. We used to have Beauclair, but they don't sell fabric anymore. They only sell what do they sell? They sell like household stuff. So that's too bad because Beauclair used to be a really nice fabric store. So I don't really know what I'm doing, guys, but this is just kind of fun. It's just with the rhinestones and this type of thing. And I think rather than put too many on, I'm just going to keep it simple. So I'm just going to like put one wire to either side like that. And let's make sure that these, yeah, if we do it this way, we do one on either side. Oh, that's a long message. Let me see. Oh, cool. I have to look around. And really hot and humid. Yeah. There's weather patterns. Yeah, we had oh yeah, no, the weather is when it's damp and stuff, it's really yeah, it's really tricky. We had a really bad storm last week actually. We lost power because the wind was like really, really bad. Yeah. But now I think the wind blew in the warm weather, which is nice. So now I'm just wrap this one around a couple of times. I think I'll do the same thing, like sort of like what we did with the button. We just take the ends and wrap them around just to hold this little initial cluster in place. See, I could have done more little loopy loops around there too. And even at this point, you can kind of do more. Like this is what you call freestyle. Like I really wasn't expecting to do anything like this at all, but it's kind of cool. Sometimes you just improvise based on what your materials are doing and all that kind of thing. So we just do one on this side and then, whoop, let's see that your cool looking. It's neat, eh? Like it's really like free form. So if I wanted to make it more loopy even, I could just kind of add more like wires, and you could even like put the wire, string it through a little bit because you want it to hold in place. But yeah, you could just wow, this is kind of cool. I don't mind it at all. So we can just like kind of get the wire like looping around, and then when you've looped the wire around enough, then you're just going to wind it around the other side. And I will always wrap it, like put it on the ring form and just shape it in place. And we want to make sure that these rhinestones actually show, since that's why we were doing this in the first place. So we go like that, and wow, that's kind of cool. I had no intention to make something like that, but I really like it. It's amazing what happens when you just experiment with things. So let's see what we did, and you guys can tell me which one you like the best. So we did the rhinestone cluster. We did this one, which, yeah, definitely, Sharon, I'm gonna work on that and fix it up because that was a cocktail ring, you're right. And this one I love, this one that was made with the little, how do you say, the little clasp from an antique, necklace. And then this is the other one that made with that little spacer bar, but that one's moderately successful. And this one too with the spacer bar, it's okay, but I'm not 100% convinced. And then the button one was super cute, super easy, like that. And also this button one, I love that one too. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So I'm gonna flip my screen now because it's already 45 minutes. I can't believe it. So let me just flip the screen. Oh, my messy basement. There we go. Oh, so there we go. Perfect. So that's it. I think we're gonna wrap up here because I could just go on forever and keep making more stuff. And I will definitely make more. And like I said, Sharon, if I come up with a design that works really well, I'll do a little tutorial for it. And when you get your bits and pieces, just let me know, and then I can have like sort of a basis of how to make the design. And yeah, so I'm going to sign off for now. And as always, thank you everybody for hopping on the live stream. I just have so much fun with these things and come up with some great ideas. Oh, thanks so much, Sharon. Thanks for the great idea. Eh? I would have never thought of that. Thanks, Clarice, for hopping on. And everybody have a great night. And be sure to, yeah, if you're not already join the Facebook group, join the Wire Art and Jewelry Makers Club. I'll put a link in the description below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more wire art and jewelry videos. Hit the notification button. Glad I caught you. Yeah, I'm so glad you were able to hop on. That's just awesome. And yeah, I'm gonna try to do these every week at 9 o'clock. And actually, in 2 weeks, I'm gonna be in New York City. So I'm actually gonna try to do the live stream from New York City when I'm there. So I'll bring a fun project. And I know Clarice had some projects she wanted me to do. So I think in her honor, I'll do them in New York. And that's it. So, yeah, so we'll see everybody the next time. And thanks again for hopping on. Bye.